Good evening, everyone. You're listening to Red Pill 78. I am the corruption detector, and this is your Red Pill News. Hope everyone's having a lovely day, and hope everyone got a chance to watch the live streams from the last couple of days. We had a lot of fun here. Want to just remind everyone, please do make sure that you're still subscribed. If you are still subscribed, please make sure that you hit that notification bell so that you can be notified maybe when I put a video out. The best thing you can do is sign up for email notifications, but even then, you might not be able to get the notifications. Massive suppression. Now, good news, I am actually building a website which is going to allow you to sign up for an email list, which will send you an email 100% of the time when I put a video out. Now, some of you may have noticed that there were a couple of my videos that were locked down, and not just me, but other YouTubers, other people in the truth movement, for talking about a person who could be blowing the whistle on absolutely nothing. There is no law stopping people from saying the name of this individual. However, now social media companies are banding together to lock down content, delete posts, remove videos, anything that says the name of this individual. I'm going to start using code words, and that way you guys will know what I'm talking about. It's a little ridiculous, but it's what I have to do in today's world. Also today, we've got a tweet from my friend Methods talking about Adam Schiff and his hypocrisy. We've also got my good friend Zak Paine, an actual whistleblower, blowing the lid on real information. He has begun naming names, and we're going to put those dots together. Also, looks like Adam Schiff's star witness Vindman testified that he thought the president's policies were so wrong, he advised the Ukraine not to listen to him. Also, Democrats are refusing all GOP requests for witnesses in their sham impeachment inquiry. And Facebook is now deleting accounts that publish Trump campaign rallies. This is an incredible situation that we find ourselves in. The censorship against the president and the people who support him is just over the top. I'm having trouble dealing with it. And finally, Larry C. Johnson breaks down what Sidney Powell is doing in the case to kill the case against General Michael Flynn. We've got all this and more, and we'll be right back after a quick word from my sponsor. You know, it's taken a while, but Noble Gold has just perfected what we think is the world's first augmented reality coin. This coin, which takes you on Q's journey, is a true American wonder. Made here by craftsmen like Q, this coin represents all that is great about our country. From its references to 17 and the magical white rabbit jumping out at you when you use the app, it drips with meaning and symbolism to those who choose to know. Any true American patriot will love this coin, and they will love the connection. The old-fashioned values behind its design, together with the state-of-the-art technology built into it, make this the perfect gift for the holiday season. If you've been struggling to find something special for the patriot in your life, this is it. So is the offer on this coin. Up until December through the holidays, Noble Gold are letting true Americans like you have 30% off the purchase price. Yes, Black Friday has come early with the Q coin. Use code REDPILL30 to get this special offer. Get yours by hitting the link below or going to greatawakeningcoin.com. All right, guys, thank you for sticking around. First of all, today, from my friend Zak Paine, in the spirit of the first several stories and what's going on in Washington right now, he says, whistleblowers only matter if they're speaking the truth. I provided 400-plus pages of documentary evidence in FBI database to Horowitz, Sessions, HPSCI, and SSCI under ICWPA, urgent concern for willfully ignoring evidence of crimes committed by, and he names them by initial, but we'll say them out loud, Clinton Foundation, Hillary Rodham Clinton, Uranium One. Those named by Nate were James Comey, Andrew McCabe, Robert Mueller, Rod Rosenstein, and Michael Atkinson. Of course, everyone knows who James Comey is, former FBI chief, and his second-in-command, Andrew McCabe. Robert Mueller, FBI chief prior to that, and then special counsel. Rod Rosenstein, we had as the second-in-command at the DOJ, and then acting in lieu of Jeff Sessions. Now, Michael Atkinson, he is the current Inspector General of the Intelligence Community, the ICIG. This is the first time that anyone has come out and named Michael Atkinson specifically as a bad guy. But I think we all knew it when you look at what happened over the summer with the changing of the rules, the backdating of those rules, and the coaching of this whistleblower that we are no longer allowed to name. Now, He says, why did Michael Atkinson change the whistleblower form? Why, when serving as an assistant United States attorney for the District of Columbia from 2006 through 2016, where he was the acting chief and deputy chief of the Fraud and Public Corruption section, were HRC, that'd be Hillary Rodham Clinton, Clinton Foundation, and Uranium One crimes ignored? Well, what Nate's done here is put Michael Atkinson square in the crosshairs, letting us know that this all goes back to him. He's the one who should have done something about what was going on there. Instead, he allowed it to be buried, and then he ignored it. And then he oversaw what was essentially the defaming and destruction of a good man's career, a career intelligence community employee. That would be, namely, Nate Kane. Thank God someone out there is looking out for Nate. He has still been able to continue working, still being able to do his job within the government without losing his security clearance. Nate, hats off to you. Big salute. Thank you very much for doing what is necessary and coming out and being the brave one. You, sir, are truly an American hero. Now, first of all today, in lieu of my own situation and several other YouTubers, it's noted that YouTube will begin banning the alleged whistleblower's name and use machine learning to censor. I myself have gotten several emails telling me that my videos lacked context and that I needed to be more specific about what I was talking about in order to be able to put in an appeal and have my video reinstated. Now, I have not received a strike, but the video is private and I am unable to make it public, even after attempting to delete the offending information. I still have to go through a manual review process. They have given me the option of creating an entirely new video and uploading it to the same link, which is unusual. But if I do that, I'll lose all of the views and all of the comments, everything that was there previously. But the platform, YouTube, has now followed Facebook in saying it will ban mentions of the name of the alleged Ukraine whistleblower. We're going to call him Elric Charamander. In a comment to CNN, a representative of YouTube said that the company would work to scrub mentions of the alleged whistleblower's name from its platform, although the statement leaves it unclear whether this involves banning whole videos or surgically removing parts of them. Well, now we know that it has been chosen that they are going to ban entire videos and then ask us to surgically remove the section. YouTube said it would use a combination of machine learning and human review to enact its censorship. A YouTube spokesperson said videos mentioning the potential whistleblower's name would also be removed. The spokesperson said the company would use a combination of machine learning and human review to scrub that content. The removals, the spokesperson added, would affect the titles and descriptions of videos as well as the video's actual content. This means that Silicon Valley is coming closer to marching in lockstep on the issue. YouTube's move came after Facebook declared it would also ban mentions of the alleged whistleblower, although this name has been made public by multiple national figures and media outlets, including Breitbart News. Now, I'm going to have to scrub the mention of this individual's name from this article in places where it showed it. So I'd like to move on from this article, and we'll go on to an article regarding Judicial Watch, another big name in the truth community. Judicial Watch has been doing wonderful work for years under the leadership of Tom Fitton. Thank you very much, Tom. So let's go ahead and check that out. All right, so here it is. YouTube blocks Judicial Watch video on alleged whistleblower Elric Charamander. YouTube has blocked a Judicial Watch video posted Friday about the alleged whistleblower behind the Trump-Ukraine impeachment investigation. The video detailed public White House records listing visitors to Clowns in America employee Elric Charamander when he was assigned to the Obama White House. The censorship by YouTube follows similar actions against accounts on Facebook removing content that reports the name of Charamander. Contrary to liberal enforced rules, the alleged whistleblower is not legally entitled to blanket immunity. The page for the video now reads, "This video is private." Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton reported the censorship by YouTube via Twitter Saturday. YouTube has censored our Judicial Watch video on the alleged whistleblower and the factual material about who he met at the Obama White House. Now, just so that everybody understands, the reason I'm presenting this story in this way with the transitions is so that I can manually cover up the name of this alleged whistleblower so that I don't lose another video that is going to get censored. So here we have that tweet from Tom Fitton. And here is a press release by Judicial Watch on the White House visitors to Elric Charamander that the video was based on. And it says, Judicial Watch announced today analysis of Obama-era White House visitor logs that detail meetings of controversial Clowns in America employee Elric Charamander, who has been assigned to the White House. Charamander reportedly was detailed to the Obama White House in 2015 and returned to the Clowns in America during the Trump administration in 2017. The logs also reveal Alexandra Chalupa, a contractor hired by the DNC during the 2016 election, who coordinated with Ukrainians to investigate President Trump and his former campaign manager Paul Manafort. They visited the White House 27 times. The White House visitor logs revealed the following individuals met with Charamander while he was detailed to the Obama White House. That would be Daria Kaleniuk, co-founder and executive director of the Soros-funded Anti-Corruption Action Center in Ukraine. She visited on December 9, 2015. The Hill reported that in April 2016, during the U.S. presidential race, the U.S. embassy under Obama in Kiev took the rare step of trying to press the Ukrainian government to back off its investigation of both the U.S. aid and Ant-AC. Gina Lentine visited. She's now a senior program officer at Freedom House. She was formerly the Eurasia program coordinator at Soros-funded Open Society Foundations. She visited on March 16, 2016. Rachel Goldbrenner, now an NYU law professor. She was at the time an advisor to then ambassador to the United Nations, Samantha Power. She visited on both January 15, 2016 and August 8, 2016. Orly Kiner, a foreign affairs officer at the State Department who is a Russia specialist. She's also the wife of State Department legal advisor James P. Blair. She visited on both March 4th, 2016 and June 20th of 2015. Nazar Kolodenitsky, the lead anti-corruption prosecutor in Ukraine. He visited on January 19th, 2016. On March 7th, 2019, the Associated Press reported that the then U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch, called for him to be fired. Also, Michael Kimmage, professor of history at Catholic University of America, at the time was with the State Department's policy planning staff, where specialized in Russia and Ukraine issues. He is a fellow at the German Marshall Fund. He was also one of the signatories to the Transatlantic Democracy Working Group's Statement of Principles. He visited on October 26, 2015. Then James Melville, then recently confirmed as Obama's ambassador to Estonia, he visited on September 9, 2015. On June 9, 2018, Foreign Policy reported that Melville resigned in protest of Trump. Victoria Nuland, who at the time was Assistant Secretary of State for European and Eurasian Affairs, met with Charamander on June 17, 2016. And then Judicial Watch has previously uncovered documents revealing Nuland had an extensive involvement with Clinton-funded dossier. Judicial Watch also released documents revealing that Nuland was involved in the Obama State Department's urgent gathering of classified Russia investigation information and disseminating it to members of Congress within hours of Trump taking office. Don't forget Artem Sitnik, the Ukrainian Anti-Corruption Bureau director. He visited on January 19, 2016. On October 7, 2019, the Daily Wire reported leaked tapes which show Sitnik confirming that the Ukrainians helped the Clinton campaign. The White House visitor logs revealed the following individuals met with Alexandra Chalupa, who was then a DNC contractor. Charles Kupchin, from 2014 to 2017, Kupchin served as special assistant to the president and senior director for European affairs on the staff of the National Security Council in the Barry Obama administration. That meeting was on November 9, 2015. Alexandra Sopko, who was at the time a special assistant and policy advisor to the director of the Office of Intergovernmental Affairs, which was run by Valerie Jarrett. Also listed for that meeting is Alexa Kissinger, a special assistant to Jarrett. That meeting was on June 9, 2015. Asher Meyerson, who at the time was a policy advisor to the Office of Public Engagement under Jarrett, had 5 visits with Chalupa, including December 18, 2015, January 11, 2016, February 22nd, May 13th, and June 14th, all in 2016. Meyerson was also previously an intern at the Center for American Progress. After leaving the Obama administration, he went to work for the city of Chicago's treasurer's office. Now, Meyerson met with Chalupa and Amanda Stone, who was at the White House Deputy Director of Technology. That was on January 11th of 2016. On May 14th, 2016, Chalupa emailed DNC official Louis Miranda to inform him that she had spoken to investigative journalists about Paul Manafort in Ukraine. Judicial Watch's analysis of Obama White House visitor logs raises additional questions about the Obama administration, Ukraine, and the related impeachment scheme targeting President Trump, stated Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton. Both Mr. Charamander and Miss Chalupa should be questioned about the meetings documented in these visitor logs. And Fox News Channel video of Fitton appearing on the Ingram angle, and the guest host that night was Judge Jeanine, Friday night to talk about those visitor logs. Also on the segment is former Clowns in America whistleblower Kevin Shipp. Now, Pirro says that they are not allowed by Fox to say the name of the alleged whistleblower on air. So let's go ahead and take a listen to the clip.
And also tonight, a Judicial Watch analysis of the Obama White House visitor logs reveals Alexandra Chalupa, the DNC contractor who colluded with the Ukrainians to smear the Trump 2016 campaign, visited the White House, get this, visited the White House 27 times. Joining me now is Tom Fitton, president of Judicial Watch, and Kevin Shipp, a former CIA officer and a real whistleblower. All right, Tom Fitton, you know what I think of you and Judicial Watch. You do great work. So what Judicial Watch has uncovered here is simply stunning. It seems like the real collusion story is between Ukraine and the left.
All right, guys, I'm going to stop it there because I want you guys to watch this clip, and it's almost 7 minutes long, so it doesn't make any sense for me to include it when we've already gone over all of the information. But as Judge Jeanine said, this is the real scandal. You want to talk about collusion? You're talking about the Democrats, and you're talking about the former government of Ukraine. And then you've got people involved in governments around Ukraine and within the former Russian Federation. This is where the real collusion lies. And again, the projection on display by the Democrats to try to make President Trump and Vladimir Putin and Russia look like they are in bed together is simply a mirror of everything that they have done. They were working on this Ukraine and Russia collusion scam from the very beginning, guys. This has been the plan the entire time. And now we've gotten to this point, and they are doing everything they can to stop people like me and people like Tom Fitton from being able to talk about the truth. Anytime that we talk about this individual, we have to cover it up. We have to pretend like we don't know this individual's name. There is absolutely no reason that this would be happening except that the press is colluding with the Democrats and with the people that want to get Trump out of office. The press, the social media companies, they are an active part of the coup. All right, guys, now I guess the next question is, are they even going to allow this video to stand, considering the fact that I'm using code language, but I'm not using the name of the actual whistleblower? This is kind of a test run, so thank you very much for understanding. Now, Methods has pulled up this incredible display of hypocrisy from Representative Adam Schiff, and he reminds us the internet is forever. Adam Schiff is here talking about claims apparently the Republican Party was making against the last president. So let's go ahead and listen to the clip.
They don't have any evidence, and they don't have anyone who's even come forward to say, oh, yes, the White House instructed that we do this, or we felt pressured to do that. Even what we've gathered so far from the IRS isn't suggesting any kind of direction from the White House or any culture of intimidation, which just seems ludicrous. But it doesn't matter anymore. This is, here on the Hill, it's become such an antipathy towards the president that they're willing to level any accusation, no matter how little or no proof whatsoever. It's just now part of this institution, which is tragic because the American people, they want us working on jobs. They want us working on immigration reform. They want us working on responsible gun safety bills. And instead, all they're getting is this baseless accusation against the White House.
Well, gosh, that sure sounds familiar. Baseless accusations against the White House. That's what the Democrats and Adam Schiff are doing right now. You know what's even funnier is that all of these scandals that were being placed on the former administration, Barry Obama and his cronies, they were all real, actual scandals. We have actual proof, evidence showing that the IRS was directed to go after the political rivals of the last administration. We have actual evidence showing what happened in Fast and Furious. We have actual evidence of what happened in Uranium One, and it goes on and on and on. What they're doing right now is proposing a fairy tale of myths and legend, things that have never happened and that our president Donald J. Trump has never done. people in his sphere have not committed the atrocities or the crimes that the Democrats would like to pin on him. And certainly, there have been nothing leading to the point of impeachable offenses yet. Here we are. Baseless accusations by people like Adam Schiff. Wow, Adam, I wish you could watch this clip now and take a look at yourself and see how far you've come. Wow, speaking of things that are not fairy tales, this right here, Schiff's star witness Vindman testified he thought President Trump's policies were so wrong he advised the Ukrainians to ignore the president. That sounds like that could be a violation of the Logan Act to me. Adam Schiff's star witness Alexander Vindman testified to the House Intel Committee he thought the president was wrong in his policy with the Ukraine, so he later told Ukrainians to ignore the president. Alexander Vindman's testimony was recently released, and it shows an ignorant underling in the NSC who believed the president's policy in the Ukraine was flawed, and because of this, Vindman notified a group of Ukrainians to ignore the president's requests. Conservative Treehouse reported on the release and highlighted some interesting pieces from the testimony. Apparently, in his opening remarks, young Vindman stated that he believed the president demanded something from the Ukrainians. Representative Ratcliffe destroyed him on this assertion. Now, Ratcliffe challenged Vindman to find in the president's transcript of the call where the president demanded anything from the Ukrainian president. Vindman could not name anywhere in the transcript where the president demanded anything, and that it was all what Vindman perceived and not based on the law or other interpretations of the meeting. Vindman had concerns about the president's policy. Well, who's he? He's not the president. Congressman Ratcliffe next destroyed the witness Vindman, pointing out how Vindman told Ukrainian officials, not detailed in the discussion, to ignore President Trump, which is a blatant crime committed by the underling. After Representative Swalwell jumped in to assist Vindman, Ratcliffe nailed him, calling Swalwell president in reference to his failed presidential run. Then the attorney for Vindman and the rest of the Democrats freaked out in defense of the underling who told Ukrainians to ignore President Trump. What a mess the Democrats have gotten themselves into. If they try to sell this sham on the American people, they have the same gall as Representative Swalwell, thinking he has a chance at being president, because they will fail miserably. You cannot, as a member of the National Security Council, direct the government of a foreign nation to not follow the direction of the President of the United States. That right there is acting in a diplomatic fashion, which is undermining the President of the United States and counteracting the things that he wants to have done. Now, what President Trump was doing was asking the Ukraine to follow up on their promises to root out corruption. And that's all that he asked. He did not offer them anything in return. He just wanted them to follow through on what Zelensky had promised in his election campaign. Now, here we have Vindman clearly telling the Ukrainians, just don't listen to the president. Ignore him. Probably because he knew about this impeachment sham and thought that they could get him out of there before anything could happen. Well, here he is, nailed to the wall by Ratcliffe. I'm sure glad that Ratcliffe is there in Congress and not at the DNI where they can try to stonewall him again. Here he's asking those tough, important questions that everyone in America needs to hear the answers to. Now, in an outrageous move, just completely ignoring all the precedent that's been set in Congress before, Democrats are refusing to allow all GOP requests for witnesses in their sham investigation. And they say that Republican requests are based on sham claims. U.S. Representative Devin Nunes, ranking Republican on the House Intel Committee, provided a list of individuals that the Republicans would like to interview in the sham Democrat impeachment hearings. The list includes Adam Schiff, who plotted with the whistleblower before he filed his complaint. The list also includes DNC operative Alexandra Chalupa, who worked with the whistleblower Ehrlich Charamander in 2016, and that whistleblower Charamander, Hunter Biden, Nellie Ohr, and Ambassador Kurt Volker. One requested witness is the current son of the corrupt former Vice President Biden, which would be Hunter Biden. Democrats have denied his request, calling it a sham. As the Democrats move forward with their insane impeachment hearing in the House, the levels of insanity have reached new heights. Democrats created an impeachment process where the individual leading the process was involved in creating it with a Clowns in America spy who leaked information from a presidential phone call. The Clowns in America spy was kicked out of the White House in 2017 for leaking. The spy met with Adam Schiff and his team before filling the complaint under the whistleblower statute, although this didn't meet the standards of such a complaint. Whistleblower complaints are only legitimate in the intel community if related to a member of the intel community. The president was the subject of the complaint, and he is not a member of the intel community. The whistleblower form in the intel community was updated to allow for secondhand information. This was not allowed before this complaint. The Inspector General IG of the intel community is involved in the Russia witch hunt. He worked in the DOJ and was involved in the fraudulent filings of FISA warrants. He then moved to his IG position and allowed the complaint from a Clowns in America spy who was kicked out of the White House for leaking. Schiff and his team flew to the Ukraine before the complaint and met with some of the individuals who testified in Schiff's court held in the basement of the U.S. Capitol. The Republicans are not allowed to bring in witnesses. The witnesses are coached by Adam Schiff. The Republicans' questions are constantly interrupted by the likes of President Swalwell, a failed Democrat president for candidate, and other Democrats. The president and his team are not allowed to interview the witnesses. The witnesses are basing their testimonies, in some cases, on fourth-hand information. Schiff is in charge of the impeachment hearings set up based on the Clowns in America spy's complaint. Schiff is the same individual who created the incident that the impeachment is based on. All rules and guidelines are created by him alone. He decides who interviews and when and what they are allowed to say. He tells witnesses whether they are allowed to answer questions or not from the Republicans on the committee. The whole sham is based on the president requesting the new president from the Ukraine to look into the 2016 campaign. The president asked the Ukraine leader to see if he could find anything on Hillary's server, which some people believe may be in the Ukraine, as well as CrowdStrike, the Ukrainian-owned firm that the FBI and DNC relied upon in 2016 when it claimed the Russians hacked Hillary's emails. CrowdStrike's claim to this day is the only information used by the FBI, DOJ, and the Mueller team as evidence that the Russians hacked Hillary's emails. The U.S. has a treaty with the Ukraine that allows for the U.S. and the Ukraine to assist each other with criminal investigations. Based on a mutual legal assistance treaty with the Ukraine, the president had every right and even a duty to dig into criminal activities in the Ukraine that involve Americans. The president of the Ukraine asked on the call whether he should look into the Biden's actions in the Ukraine, and a video where the former vice president bragged about having a Ukrainian prosecutor kicked off a case where he was investigating his son Hunter Biden was shared all over the internet. The judge was removed in a quid pro quo arrangement. The Ukrainians removed the prosecutor, and then they received $1.5 billion from the U.S. Biden's son Hunter was placed on the board of Burisma Holdings in the Ukraine, and he and Devon Archer, who's connected to former Secretary of State John Kerry, who was also on the Burisma board, made $50,000 a month each in spite of knowing nothing about Burisma's business. The Republicans on the Intel Committee want to interview these two young Burisma board members. These two men included in the list of 9 individuals currently on the Republicans' list. These two men were included in the list of 9 individuals currently on that Republican wish list. Below is the letter to Adam Schiff requesting those testimonies. Per news on late Sunday night, in less than 24 hours, the head of the impeachment sham, Shifty Adam Schiff, had already denied the Republicans' request, saying it won't probe sham claims. In response to Devin Nunes's memo, Schiff confirmed that Biden will not be testifying, but agreed to review the rest of the Republicans' list. This inquiry is not and will not serve as a vehicle to undertake the same sham investigations into the Bidens or 2016 that the president pressed Ukraine to conduct for his personal political benefit, the top Democrats said, according to the Washington Post, or facilitate the president's effort to threaten, intimidate, and retaliate against the whistleblower who courageously raised the initial alarm. Americans know that Obama and the Bidens were corrupt. The entire Obama administration was corrupt. The Obama administration was a pay-for-play enterprise. Everyone wanting to see or do business with the Obama administration, with Obama, Hillary, Biden, Kerry, and more, had to pay. This is what this is all about. This is why America voted for Trump. The Democrats are making up a sham investigation, not based on the law that they think they can get away with. We, the American people, won't let them. Now, I know all of this information we have gone over before, but when you put it all together, each one of these points, it becomes an absolutely staggering display of how lawless our country has become. To think that the Republicans are going to allow this to continue, to think that the people in the government are not doing anything about it, well, I think that's a fairy tale right there. I think that everything that's being addressed in this, everybody that needs to be questioned, everything that's considered a sham claim by the Democrats, these are the things that John Durham is looking into. This is what will be addressed with his grand juries and with the testimony that he is currently receiving. And This is what will be cleared up with the indictments, which are sure to come as a result of all of the crimes mentioned here in this article. Well, it looks like Facebook is now threatening to delete accounts that publish Trump campaign rallies, calling it clickbait. Well, I'm sick of putting in images of Charmander on every single article. So right here is the article about Facebook offering to suspend accounts that post Donald Trump rallies. On Wednesday night, the Gateway Pundit received several warnings from Facebook that we were violating community standards and our account is at risk of being unpublished. In 2016, the Gateway Pundit was the fourth most influential conservative publisher in the U.S. during the presidential election. And here is the recent violations, warning them that they could be unpublished. We were also notified by our readers that anyone who reposted our articles were also being threatened to be unpublished, and we're not alone. On Thursday morning, David J. Harris Jr. also reported that his Facebook page was being threatened. David described it as a modern-day L word. We're not going to say that one out loud either. His account has since been taken down. Facebook was threatened by this African-American Trump supporter. Now, as Sean Adel-Tabatabi wrote the Gateway Pundit and said his Facebook page is also under threat of being removed for posting this whistleblower's name. For the record, it is not against the law to publish the name of the anti-Trump whistleblower. That is a lie pushed by the liberal media. Another TGP reader, Lisa Renee Wood, also wrote in to tell us that her Facebook page was suspended for posting that whistleblower's name. And I want to make a correction. It was actually a meme of the whistleblower. Now, update. On Friday, Facebook admitted they were deleting any mention of that Clowns in America whistleblower. And they admitted to preventing Americans from seeing the truth. They admitted to working with the DNC. Here from Oliver Darcy at CNN. Facebook says it is removing any and all mention of the potential whistleblower's name from its platform. Now this, Facebook is also threatening users who post video of President Trump's campaign rallies. Facebook said this is clickbait, a new excuse they are using to ban conservatives. Via John Kolaw in Conservative Newsroom, right here, your page has shared clickbait. Reporting on Trump rallies is now considered clickbait. It's now clear that the Democrat Party, the far-left news media, and now social media giants are working in unison against the president. They are banning anyone who names the anti-Trump whistleblower and blocking reports on his massive rallies. Please pass this on. We cannot allow these far-left institutions to eliminate free press and freedom of speech in America. Everything that we're having to put up with is bad enough, but this is an entire new level. They can't deal with President Trump's rallies. They can't deal with how popular he is in the real world. So they label it clickbait. And they tell us that if we post it, then we ourselves will be deleted. We will be unpersoned. First, it was just for having conservative values. Then it was for supporting the president explicitly. Now it is for reporting on how successful the president is. What's next, guys? If we report on economic conditions based upon President Trump's policies, are we going to get banned for that? If we post about a press conference that he holds in the White House Rose Garden, will we be banned for that? Where does the line get drawn? And when is the government going to step in and support free speech on these platforms? These social media companies are clearly publishers. They are editing the content that is put up on them, and they should not have the protections that they are currently granted. It is time to revisit this problem once again, and I implore the government, the FTC, whoever has jurisdiction over this, please, this must be addressed. Otherwise, freedom of speech in America is at risk of being completely erased. Right now, I'm afraid to even post this video, post this article. I don't know what I'm supposed to report on if I cannot report on the successes of this president and what's actually going on in the news. Meanwhile, places like MSNBC, CNN, they're safe. They don't have to worry about any of the things they publish because they publish slanderous lies about the president. But when you're someone like me and you want to post the truth, God forbid. All right, guys, that's all the time we have for today. I've run out of time, so I'm not going to be able to do that story about General Flynn. Long story short, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how long we're going to be able to survive in this environment without something being done. And I honestly don't know how I'm going to report on this stuff in the future. This was exhausting to put this video together. And, it's not just the amount of time that I have to put in, but mentally it's exhausting. I really appreciate if you guys would like and share this video and help me get the word out. And please go subscribe to my backup channels. They are always in the description of each and every video. All right, guys, that's all that I have for you today. I want to thank everyone for joining me. As always, this has been Red Pill 78. I am the Corruption Detector, and this was your Red Pill News. Good luck, everyone, and God bless. Hey guys, it's Red Pill. I just wanted to say one more thing. Thank you very much to all my patrons. Thank you to everyone who supports this channel. If anyone wants to help out, there are links in the description of this video below. Please make sure to subscribe to my backup channels in case anything happens here. I will begin publishing there. And if you guys have any questions or tips for me, please send me an email at redpill78@protonmail.com. Also, don't forget to make sure that you have notifications turned on for this channel. When you go to my channel page, there is a little bell. Click that bell and choose all notifications. And if you don't have one already, go sign up on Twitter and follow me there and make sure that your notifications are on. Because even if you don't get a notification from YouTube, I always have a notification that goes out on my Twitter page that lets you know every time I put out a new video. I look forward to reading your messages. I look forward to getting the news to you on a daily basis. And I look forward to seeing you all again in the next episode.